If you're shopping for floor-standing speakers and you've landed on Klipsch's RF73 pair, you're probably wondering whether this bundle with the RC64 center channel is the right move for your setup. The truth is, most people get stuck comparing these to other towers or soundbars, and that's where the real hesitation starts. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I like about this bundle is that it's designed to work together right out of the box. The RF73 towers and the RC64 center are both built with Klipsch's Tractrix horn, which means the soundstage stays focused and the dialogue stays clear even when you're not sitting in the sweet spot. If you've ever struggled with a center channel that sounds muffled or a tower that loses detail at higher volumes, this setup actually addresses that. It's not just about slapping 3 speakers together, it's about matching the drivers so the sound feels cohesive across the front of your room. I've seen people try to mix brands or use mismatched models, and the result is usually a disjointed soundstage where voices wander or bass feels uneven. With this bundle, you're getting matched drivers and the same horn-loaded tweeter across all 3 units, so the imaging stays tight whether you're watching a movie or listening to music. That consistency matters more than most buyers realize until they hear it side by side with a mismatched setup. Now, let's talk about who this is really for. If you're running a modest living room setup with a soundbar or a basic AV receiver, this bundle is overkill. You won't get the full benefit of the RF73 towers unless you have the space and the receiver to drive them properly. These speakers need a decent amp to shine, and if you're pairing them with a budget receiver, you might not hear the difference. On the other hand, if you're upgrading from a soundbar or a basic 5.1 system, this bundle gives you a noticeable step up in clarity and dynamics without breaking the bank. One thing to keep in mind is the size. The RF73 towers are big, over 4 feet tall, and they're not subtle. If you're living in a small apartment or you prefer a minimalist setup, these might feel like overkill. But if you have the space, they fill a room with sound in a way that smaller speakers just can't. The RC64 center channel is also sizable, so make sure your entertainment center can accommodate it without looking cramped. Another practical point is the cabinet design. Klipsch went with a walnut wood finish here, which looks great in a traditional or mid-century modern living room. But if you're going for a more modern or industrial aesthetic, you might want to look elsewhere. The wood grain is real, but it's not ultra-glossy or flashy, it's understated, which works if you want the speakers to blend in rather than stand out. Where this bundle really shines is in home theater use. The horn-loaded tweeter on the RF73 towers and the RC64 center channel means dialogue stays intelligible even at high volumes, which is a common complaint with other speaker setups. If you've ever struggled to understand what's being said in action movies or TV shows, this bundle actually solves that problem. The bass from the Spun copper cerometallic woofers is punchy and controlled, so you get that movie theater feel without needing a separate subwoofer for most content. That said, if you're a music purist, you might find the sound a bit forward or bright. Klipsch speakers are known for their lively highs, and while that works great for movies, some listeners prefer a warmer, more neutral sound for music. If you're the kind of person who listens to jazz or classical, you might want to audition these first or pair them with a receiver that has a tone control to dial back the highs. The bundle also includes the RC64 center channel, which is a big plus if you're building a 5.1 system. The center channel is often the most neglected part of a home theater setup, but it's critical for clear dialogue. The RC64 matches the RF73 towers in design and driver configuration, so the sound stays consistent across the front stage. That's a rare find in a bundle at this price point. So, who should skip this? If you're tight on space, if you're not planning to upgrade your receiver, or if you prefer a more neutral sound signature for music, this might not be the right fit. But if you're serious about home theater and you want a setup that delivers clear dialogue and dynamic sound without a ton of extra gear, this bundle is worth considering. Before you pull the trigger, think about your room size and your existing equipment. These speakers need room to breathe, and they need a receiver that can drive them properly. If you're not sure, watch a few YouTube